All right, Palpatine sitting down there.
I was gonna say, I like how Chris looks like he's the hacker man from a cyberpunk universe fucking story.
I'm the hacker man.
That's being generous.
Nah, he's got the hood up and he's got the light up fucking headphones.
He looks like we're about to get raided. I would be laughing looking at you all night. You look like the Halloween costume version of Palpatine, but you didn't put on the mask.
So yeah, Chris is committed to being Palpatine for Halloween, but he didn't shave the beard, so it's just weird. He's just
he's one of the many failed clones.
Red just shows up and Palpatine has a sweet beard because he's been on Exegol for fucking forever. Yes. It's hard to get beard trimmers out here, and nobody knows the planet.
When your skin has been electrocuted to the extent that mine has, beards tend to grow in patchy, but I have finally mastered it using my unlimited power.
He just drank like a dozen of the hair tonics from Red Dead and slept a bunch of times. And, you know.
When he's sitting there like sapping the health out of Rey and Kylo, a beard just starts growing.
He starts growing a beautiful beard. It's just this giant, like...
And so the power of two shall restore the one true beard.
Hello and welcome to Star Wars Every Week Forever, the podcast in which we watch one Star Wars movie every week forever. This week, Revenge of the Sith. Dan, how was your watch?
It was alright.
It was a solid okay.
It was pretty fine.
I was like, oh boy, time for episode 3. And then I sat down and watched it, and it was fun. That's about it.
Chris, how was your watch?
Well, it was fine.
I'm glad we're hitting high energy levels tonight.
It's been a very long week, and watching Star Wars Revenge of the Sith was one of the better parts of my week, I guess. So, 2 thumbs.
Yeah. Apparently that's true for me as well.
It's a weird thing where we watch these movies every single week on rotation, and that sounds like hell, but sometimes the planets align and everything else sucks so hard that the welcome presence of Star Wars it's just a beautiful thing.
Well, episode 3 is one of those where we tend to all at least somewhat enjoy parts of it.
I might as well have not been on this planet. If the planets had aligned, I was on the other side of the solar system from the aligned planets this watch. I was not here. I was just
watching Star Wars on Pluto.
I might as well have been like at one of those drive-in theaters where you actually drive your cars in behind like the biggest pickup truck you've ever seen in your life and unable to see the screen. I was so mentally tuned out from this watch. That was my kind of week, and it was still the highlight of my week.
To immediately get off of Star Wars, well, no, kind of Star Wars, piggyback off what Ben said. If you were on Pluto, is the only thing you'd be allowed to consume Star Wars-wise the EU, because like Pluto, it doesn't technically count as real anymore. Like, it's not, canon the same way Pluto's not a planet. Anymore.
Pluto is no longer canon.
Pluto is no longer canon to the galaxy. Much in the same way the expanded universe is no longer official Star Wars canon.
I have, this past week, I have consumed so much Dave Filoni content. Because on top of the Bad Batch finale, hello from 6 weeks ago, current listeners. On top of the Bad Batch finale last Friday, I decided I'm finally going to watch Avatar: The Last Airbender. So I've binged that for most of the past week.
I am kind of envious. Is this the first time you're watching Last Airbender?
Yeah.
Oh,
Wow.
to
Yeah.
be
I'm a
able
little
to
envious
go
of that.
back in time and experience The Last Airbender for the first time.
I
Yeah.
only ever caught snippets of like when it was on TV growing up. But I'm already at season 3 because this is what happens when my ADHD decides to fucking focus on anything.
This week on things I would rather be talking about and experiencing instead of Star Wars. Avatar: The
Well, you
Last
know what
Airbender.
you know what we could do here before we talk about, like, I don't know, 51st dates or something. Ben, why don't you walk us through the events of this movie?
All right, so Star Wars Episode 3, The Sith Strike Back. So
Mm-hmm.
hold on, my brain just stopped.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
So we open and
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
fuck, what the fuck?
While
What has happened to you?
While
don't
Ben
know.
struggles to find a thought, I'd like to piggyback off my brain. Ben said, the Sith Strike Back. I immediately went to the opening of Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back and pictured Obi-Wan and Anakin leaned against a wall, just going, fuck.
I don't know if that's trademark enough that I can sing it or not.
I think
We
I think
mentioned
Lions
Kevin
just bought
Smith
Cooks.
a lot.
Love Kevin Smith. Hey, if I haven't said it on this podcast yet, I love Kevin Smith more than I love most people I actually know in real life.
That's fair. I do too. Present company excluded.
I'm not.
Obviously.
Yeah, present company and friends of the show not included.
If you've heard from me in the last month, I like you more than Kevin Smith.
Yeah.
If you haven't heard from me in the last month, I might like Kevin Smith more than you.
Friend of the show, Kevin Smith.
Friend of the show, Kevin. That might be the most actually reasonable guess that we could get on the show.
To anyone else, it's probably that thought. If we got Kevin Smith on this show, that's it. That's all I do with my life forever. I got fucking.
Yeah.
I just this show with Kevin Smith.
Even Danny DeVito.
The fuck. Yeah, I care about Kevin Smith way more than Danny DeVito.
I can get him on the show, and
I'm more saying getting him on the show because I feel like Danny DeVito would just be like, "Fuck it."
Well,
Like,
yeah. I mean,
feel like
yeah,
Danny
but Kevin
DeVito
Smith's
would
definitely
really-
easier.
as far as things I care about and still am not dead inside and would have an actual reaction to, Kevin Smith I think would be the one.
Oh, they're about equal, but Kevin Smith is
I
definitely
don't,
more realistic than Danny DeVito.
I'm not a big like celebrity person. Like I don't like freak out about celebrities. I think if I met like a celebrity in Starbucks, I wouldn't. There's not many I would care about except for like Kevin Smith. Like if I met a celebrity out in public, like, oh cool, but like Kevin Smith is one of the few I think I would actually freak out about.
Noted. Chris will 100% fangirl over Kevin Smith.
I will
Hey, he can
fangirl
come
over
on-
Kevin Smith.
We can have the Batman corner if Kevin Smith comes on, where I defend the fact that everybody shit on him for having Batman piss himself in the middle of a fire when that's a genuine reaction that firefighters tend to have inside of fires. So that's something I'd love to talk about with Kevin Smith. Thank you, Kevin.
Thanks, Kevin.
Thanks, Kevin.
No, that was a genuine thank you.
Just the way it came off, it was like, thanks, Kevin.
Have you collected your thoughts
So,
on this movie?
we're all just chilling out in space, and
In the middle of a war, we're just chilling. We're just
so Obi-Wan and Anakin are just like
Playing
cruising
space
around
Yahtzee.
in their space boats. They're little space boats, the Jedi space boats. and they're shooting the robot space boats.
Space canoe.
Maybe
Space
more like
dinghy.
kayaks.
Okay, space kayak.
'Cause
Let's
they're
get
one
technical
person
about.
thing.
Let's
Like
get
a-
technical
like a-
about it. Okay.
Like a space dinghy.
Space.
We have to be very specific about our use of space boats.
All right,
I
all
asked
right. You asked for this, Jay. So Anakin and Obi-Wan are cruising around their space kayaks, and then they're shooting at a bunch of those little remote control space boats, because they're droids.
Okay.
So they're like pew 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 pew. pew.
So you were very
And-
proud of that statement.
No, Jay. I got funny faces,
Hold on.
so I had
Hold
to
on. What
explain
were
it.
they? What were they like, Ben?
Like pew 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 pew.
I just wanted to make sure I caught that. Thank you.
So then they just kind of like kayaked their way over to the space frigate, and Obi-Wan's like, "How are we gonna get in the thing? Cause the shield's still up." And Anakin's like, "Don't worry," and he throws a rock at it. And
Anakin's like, don't worry, this is the most poorly built ship ever. The fucking thing's right here.
shield generators are outside of it. Obi-Wan's like, "Fuck, I got little robots on me. I'm gonna die." And Anakin's like, "Don't." And Obi-Wan's like, "Too late." And Anakin's like, "No." And then they make it into the ship. And and Obi-Wan, frustrated with his continued survival, jumps out of his space kayak very angrily. And then Anakin lands and like undoes his seatbelt and pops the cockpit and strolls on out. And then they proceed to commit mass murder of robots through an entire ship. And then elevator shenanigans ensue where they just
Listen.
yell at R2-D2 a bunch.
By Star Wars standards, it wasn't mass murder because robots aren't people.
Yeah, apparently that's the thing that they keep
It's
coming home on.
totally fine. The Jedi are actually encouraged to just slaughter droves of droids. The Jedi really fucking hate robots. They're like,
Everybody
if I
hates
see a
robots in this
droid
world.
out there, I'm gonna fuck that droid up. So much so
I'm
that Anakin has to, jog down and just casually just fucking.
I'm constantly thinking about the people that invented droids. Always, at all times. Because they were like, yes, I will create menial labor robots, and they will have sentience. And because they have sentience, I'm gonna make their feet hurt. And because their feet hurt, I can make them walk across hot coals so that they know that I am in control of them, that I cause their pain. Maybe this isn't a good plan forever. Making torture devices.
It's like those things you see on Tumblr all the time where like people do oh, this is how it went when God was creating this animal or whatever. It's like the guy creating droids is like, well, I'm gonna make these things that can do the menial labor that we don't want to do for us. And people are like, oh, that's a great idea. They won't be in pain like human beings are doing the thing, so it'll be easier for them, right? Well, I mean, they're gonna feel pain. Well, but they won't just worry that their lives are meaningless and they're nothing but menial labor. They won't have like thoughts, right? Or personalities. It's like, well, hold on. There's some bad news on both those fronts.
Except instead of God, it was a person.
Yeah, it was a human being who went, this seems like a great idea.
Hold on. Yeah, we're going to keep digging in on this because this wasn't like an accidental thing, right?
Whoops, I accidentally put pain receptors in my robot.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It was a calculated decision.
You know what? Can we just talk about how much it sucks that we're having this conversation and we're about to watch this happen in real time within the next 5 to 10 years? We're going to have to watch a press conference of Elon Musk explaining to a bunch of reporters why his robots have pain receptors.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
Well, you see, it makes
way
sense.
ahead of time.
You know,
Robot rights.
how else are they supposed to feel when you beat the shit out of them when your test goes bad? You know, when the window shatters.
Jesus Christ.
We're 1,000% about 20
Chris,
years
just-
away from the Data TNG trial.
So sick of Elon Musk.
I'm
and his
honestly
continued
surprised.
Shenanigans.
I'm honestly surprised that no one has tried to like engineer a droid in the Star Wars universe specifically for pod racing.
I knew it was coming. Man, I'm a little slow on the
I
uptake today,
feel
but I
it
still knew it was
every
coming.
time, and
Yeah.
it hurts me every time. Do you feel how it just sucks the air out of like all of our hope and like?
Yeah.
I am a vampire.
So here's my theory. It really does feel like the air is sucked out of this non-existent room every time it happens. And I just assume every time that happens, Ben gets like another hour added to his life because he's literally taking an hour away from our lives.
God.
I don't know why you would want that, because that
I would
mean
live
you're
for
going
so
to be.
long. That sounds terrible.
That's what I'm saying, yes. Maybe you're not doing it purposefully, but it definitely feels like I'm losing an hour of my life every single time you do that.
So robots. Are we done
recap
riffing on this?
We're done with we're done.
Okay, I didn't know if we were still riffing.
I mean, we're not.
I mean, we could riff. We could riff forever, but you should definitely continue with your summary.
So,
Elon, fight me in space.
So
Elon,
Anakin and Obi-Wan got their fucking their glow sticks out, and they're like fucking beating the fuck out of these robots, and then the elevator shenanigans ensue, in which Anakin almost gets run over by an elevator because he's an impatient fuck. And Obi-Wan's like, R2, the elevator's not moving. Could you make it move? And R2's like, beep. And then he makes the elevator go down, and Obi-Wan's like, R2, you stupid fuck. It's gotta go the other way. And he's like, oh. And it goes up real fast. And then R2 slaughters the fuck out of two super battle droids. Like the bad bitch R2 is. And then Anakin does like a triple somersault back into the elevator he just exited.
It feels a lot like when you listen to like your 6-year-old cousin tell you a story about something. And then
the bad guy tells them that they can't kill the bad guy, but tries to convince them to kill the bad guy.
So
and then
right,
the bad guy dies, and then the bad guys with the good guys white knuckling it on the way down to the good place.
Nah, I got depth here. I got depth to go in here. There's some meat to dig in here. So they leave the fucking elevators, and they're like, let's go fight Count Dooku or some
with
shit.
Way more cursing though.
So they roll up to the command deck that isn't the actual command deck, and they're like, yo, Palps, what's shaking? And he's like, there's a dude there, and they turn around.
Can I interject with something that I actually noticed this watch that really stuck with me? For the
Yes.
first time that it's ever occurred to me for some reason, when they walk in here, I laughed so fucking hard when it's just Palpatine shackled to what's clearly just a throne. Why is he in like a throne? Like,
I can explain this.
it's just like it's scaled down Palpatine throne, but it's like, yes, they brought me here to keep me prisoner, but this is the only chair they had. This is the only place they had to put me.
I can tell you one or two things. either this is a room in which I would become the emperor of the galaxy. Ha ha! Isn't that so funny? Or alternatively, this is their sex dungeon. One or the other. You can believe one or the other.
One of the droids just like pokes ahead. It's like, my lord, do we need? It's like, I must have been talking to Dooku, who's the only lord here. I don't.
Ah.
I'm now imagining that they roll up into the room and Palpatine's just on like one of those fold out like aluminum chairs just tied up with rope. It's all we had. We were gonna bring another ship, but we had to swap last minute, so like this is the best we could do.
Can you imagine the conversation that happened between Dooku and Palpatine? Yes. So you're going to kidnap me from my office. And you're going to take me to my command ship that you run, I guess. And you're going to put me in the throniest throne room that you could possibly find. But my lord, wouldn't you say that they would maybe smell the fact that you're being treated ostentatiously, perhaps? Now, what is ostentatious? It's a small throne. I'm asking you to put me in a small throne. It's not a massive throne. There's no steps.
It's a very modest throne.
It's you could probably buy. It's probably like worth like twice the amount of milk is, I guess. You know, milk's like 20 credits, right? I don't know. I haven't had to go buy my own milk in a while, but like this is the kind of throne that you would see in the average Coruscant citizens. Like it's a lounge chair, really, except a throne because everybody.
They roll up and he's just chilling in a lounge chair.
It's just there's like an ottoman, but it's clearly not one that goes with this chair. It's just some other ottoman that was part of another set.
Oh, now you're into ottomans.
Palpatine's feet
Not
are
the
just
Empire.
up. He's in a lounge chair with his feet up on an ottoman when they come in. I don't know why they put me here. Hell.
Or
Shit,
an
and he
ottoman, I
tries
don't
to like
judge.
put the shackles on himself because he's trying to make them think he's captured.
They go down to fight Dooku, and he's just force throwing the ottoman around, just hitting him in the face.
Looks at Anakin. This is gonna be what I do to your son one day.
A droid comes running into the throne room with Palpatine just sitting there and Obi-Wan and Anakin just arriving. My lord, no, this is a continuation of Chris's bit because it's been in my head ever since. I'm just gonna steal it and continue it. I'm not a lord. I'm obviously not a lord. My lord Sidious. That's the straight. Does anybody else hear a different language happening here? Some kind of different language? There's like I don't know what a Sidious is. I don't know. It sounded kind of like Sidious. I don't. What's a Sidious? Lord, you told us. Like we told you about Sidious. I don't know what Insidious. Man, that movie. I didn't like that movie at all.
Palpatine's just an amateur film critic in his off time, you know. Yes. Welcome to Palps Pod, where I review the pod of Palpatine. There we go.
Oh, this is gonna be a fun episode.
Where I review movies. The first episode, Insidious, for some reason.
Yeah.
Today we will review 50 First Dates.
Ben, would you like to take us further than 15 minutes into this movie?
So they roll up and they're like, Palpatine, what's going on? And Palpatine's like, there's a bad guy there. And they're like, fuck, don't worry, we got it. And Palpatine's like, no, you don't. Obi-Wan's like, shh, we got it.
Shh, your beautiful face. Shh.
So Obi-Wan gets fucking crushed by a platform. And Anakin just slices off Count Dooku's hands. And he's like, I can't kill him. And Palpatine's like, yeah, you can. And Anakin's like, okay. So Anakin murders him. And he just does a little, like, force, like, whoosh, and then the shackles disappear. And Palpatine's like, yes, good, thank you. That chair was very comfortable.
Yes.
You could have done that at any time, huh?
And Anakin runs over, and Palpatine's like, "Nah, just let Obi-Wan die." And Anakin's like, no." And then Anakin picks up Obi-Wan, and they run to the elevator. And all of a sudden, everything on the spaceship goes to absolute hell, and we're now flying upside down, but
I
not
do
like
like
upside down, like we're nose diving.
I do like every great once in a while these very detailed descriptions of the movie skip through events so that it just makes it seem like just random things happen. Yeah, it's skipping through the Grievous so that it's just all of a sudden plummeting towards Coruscant. Because it's my favorite thing because it
No, it does the nosedive and then balances out before they meet Grievous.
I like the
Oh,
idea.
okay, so you're just going into way more detail than you should.
I like
Probably.
the idea of that bit continuing as these descriptions go on, and by the time we get to like the Last Jedi, it's like, yes, Luke was like teaching Rey how to meditate, and then he was fighting Kylo, but like he wasn't really there, and then he just skips like most of the movie.
No, in this case, he was describing a thing that I forgot happened, which was a skip before the skip.
It was Elevator Shenanigans Part 2 Electric
Yeah.
Boogaloo.
There you go.
So they're running across an elevator shaft, and then
As you do.
and then all of a sudden the ship starts to like right itself, and they're like, "Fuck, we are now falling down an elevator shaft." And Anakin grabs a cord thing, and Obi-Wan's like, "Haha, I'm awake." And then they start falling, and they fall like through a doorway. And they're like, "All right, we can work with this." And then ray shields pop up. They're like, "We can't work with this." And then General Grievous is chilling out on the bridge, and little droid guy's like, "Sir, we captured these Jedi. Don't know if you were looking for them." And he's like, these fucks.
I would love to redub the prequels. I would love to go through and redub all of the battle droid dialogue.
Oh God, that'd be
Because what you
terrifying.
just described was really great. It's just the droids walk in. Like one of the battle droids walk in. He's like, "Hey, we found these Jedi. Are they supposed to be here?" I don't
these-
know.
Weird guys running around LARPing on the ship.
My first day. That guy just cut one of our heads off. Probably not chill, right? He was probably doing something about that.
Please. That guy just got decapitated. Probably not
Yeah.
cool, yeah?
It's just some dude from like New York. He's just some casual dude. He's just way too chill about everything. Hey, that guy he dropped down. He's fighting Dooku. I think he cut Dooku's hands off. We're fucked, right? Like we're.
So then Obi-Wan becomes our God Emperor and achieves omniscience. And with this omniscience, he makes R2-D2 go batshit, and then they just slaughter every droid in sight. And then General Grievous is like, "Haha, you didn't get me!" And then he jumps out the window into space. But he has a Batman grappling hook, so he grapples back onto the ship and walks to
Specifically
the
a Batman
escape
grappling hook.
pods.
See, this is another thing, like the dinner scene where we've warped it so much that at least one of our listeners who has never seen, or has only seen Star Wars a minuscule amount of times, are wondering, like, what is that? I can't remember the part of Revenge of the Sith where Obi-Wan just all of a sudden becomes a god, but they keep
Yeah.
mentioning it, so it had to
Yeah.
have happened.
Yeah.
I can't remember what that was.
Well, it's not even like the dinner scene, because the dinner scene is completely us just riffing so much that we've made an entirely new thing. This is because of something that's kind of sort of canon, but also kind of sort of not with the books. Like, because it was the books that this weird omniscience came from, right?
Yeah.
Where like Obi-Wan, yeah, so it's like
Essentially, when they get captured, Obi-Wan just meditates, and like
Yeah.
The way the book says it, it's like Obi-Wan can feel everything in the room, and he can feel Grievous and R2 and Anakin, and he just like feels the galaxy's existence, and it's like omniscience. It's just omniscience.
What it sounds like to me is that Obi-Wan has been experimenting with mushrooms.
That's what
You
the
ever-
business on Cato Pneumonia was.
General Grievous, it's really interesting. You ever done DMT?
Oh my god. Then General Grievous is like, haha, I'm free, and then he shoots out of an escape pod. And then Anakin, Obi-Wan, and the crew are like, we gotta not be in space anymore. So
Ask you a question. Why is it every time in this summary that you have to give General Grievous a voice, you make it sound as though he was voiced by John Mulaney? I think we can all agree that's a better movie immediately. But
Yeah.
Holy
I need
shit.
someone that has a better John Mulaney voice to just say, "I've traded your Jedi arts by Count Dooku."
It's exactly. I've traded your Jedi arts.
Jesus Christ. So then they're all like, let's do this thing. We're gonna land this space boat into the space harbor on the planet. So then they
Into is the right description.
then they elegantly chop the ship in half with atmospheric friction, apparently. And Obi-Wan's like, don't worry, you got it. And then they crash land on Coruscant, and everyone's like, great job, you totally didn't just kill a bunch of people that were sitting in a tower that also crashed.
Listen,
And then
the only time, casualties of war are addressed in the Star Wars universe is if Dave Filoni is involved. So...
and
Or
even
Alderaan.
then, only if they're clones.
Or Alderaan, which is an important plot point for like 10 minutes. Then it's like eclipsed by like the space wizard dying.
Spoilers.
I'd also love to redub the original trilogy Stormtroopers. The Stormtrooper poke his head in. Vader just like blew up a whole fucking planet.
Isn't that Downtime Darth? That's what we've been doing with Downtime Darth.
There we go. It's just the Stormtroopers.
Guys.
Just Stormtroopers at a urinal. Did you see what they did to Alderaan?
Guys.
It's fucking crazy.
Guys, no one tell Dave what happened. That's his home planet. They just blew up, dude. Dave doesn't know we're here. Oh no, I was just giving him a random ass like fucking dude name.
Somebody told Dave Filoni they blew up Alderaan.
Yeah, you hear that little snippet in the beginning of the episode of Downtime. Darth like, don't tell Dave, he's from Alderaan, and then like, halfway through the episode, Vader's walking past a water cooler, and one of the stormtroopers is like, yeah, I'm getting some leave time soon. I'm thinking of heading home. It's been a while. And the other stormtrooper's like, oh, that's great, Dave. I'm excited for it.
God. No, I'm just sad for
Vader
Dave.
just turns and takes the immediate door to the left, which leads right into an airlock. Just like, I'll take any. Oh, I shouldn't be here.
Dave never came back from his leave after that.
I'm just gonna make a Downtime Darth spec script at this point. Just gonna do a table read for a fucking episode of the podcast or something.
Yeah, for sure. When we have more material to work with, we're gonna do that. Because the fun thing about Downtime Darth and Papa Palps is that we started pitching full episodes, and then it just became every time we go into like or this is my Palpatine voice, and then that's what it became.
Oh god.
So we're about 20 minutes into the movie.
Yeah, I'm getting there. It's gonna pick
It's not your fault. It's our fault.
Darth,
So
we're riffing.
So Anakin and Obi-Wan roll up on the planet like, yeah, we did the thing. And Obi-Wan's like, go talk to the politicians. And Anakin's like, why don't you? And Obi-Wan's like, fuck those people. And Anakin's like, all right. So then Anakin's strolling down the hallway, and he's like, he's with Bail Organa, and Bail Organa's like, good job, kiddo. And Anakin's like, 1 second. And then he just walks the fuck over to Padme, who's just standing there. And they hug each other in plain sight of absolutely everyone.
They're not even secretive about it. It's like Bale could be looking at them the entire time for all they knew. Anakin like takes 5 steps and starts jogging over to her.
Jogs over to Padme like how he jogged over to that droid earlier that day.
Yeah. Except this time it was for a hug, not a.
Well, I mean, give him some time.
I love. Jesus. We're having a normal one here. Star Wars Every Week Forever Offices, folks. We're having a super normal one.
Chris was gonna say something probably intelligent before we made that joke.
I don't think I was going to say something intelligent. I don't remember what I was going to say, but pretty sure it involved something with Anakin and Padme, and Tongue was involved. I don't know. I don't think there was anything intelligent that was about to come out of my mouth. Just making out in full sight of the fucking whole council. They're just walking by, and they're like, "We're hidden behind this pillar."
Bail Organa starts walking back and goes, "Oh, by the way, Anakin."
We're writing black comedy over here apparently, and you're writing the Anakin Padme rom-com.
I don't know what the fuck I'm doing over here anymore, alright? I'm writing Dave the Stormtrooper as a recurring character in Downtime Darth.
Yes, absolutely.
And I'm writing 51st Sith or something, I don't know.
51st Sith?
Why is it always... I regret bringing up that movie. So we're 22 minutes into
51st Dates was the first romantic comedy I could think of.
Because we're in Star Wars mindset, and we brought up 51st Dates in the Star Wars context. Ben, we're 21 minutes into the movie.
So Anakin's like, yo, you got some babies, and she's like, yeah.
Fuck.
Jesus, Ben.
Jesus Christ.
Okay, let me.
No, don't defend it. Just continue.
Let me.
No, it was good.
Nope,
wow.
you got it.
Wow.
Then he's like, oh boy, and then General Grievous is chilling out on Utapau, and Palpatine's like, you must take the Separatists and put them in Mustafar. And Grievous is like, okay. So then he does, but he just stays on Utapau. And I totally skipped a bunch. I have no idea. No cohesion here. So everyone's...
You haven't skipped as much as you think you have.
Watching Ben change fucking mannerisms every time he does a new character. I'm gonna fucking pass out.
So, Anakin's just hanging out with Palpatine, and yes,
He's trying.
Yes,
Yeah, you jumped pretty far that time.
Did I?
Yeah, significantly far. I think you just cut out 30 minutes of the movie.
Oh, so Anakin's like, hey, yo, Padme, babe,
Padme, baby, hey.
Hey, by the way, remember those dreams I used to have, about my mother dying horribly? And she's like, yeah, what's up? He's like, that's you now. And she's like, it'll be fine. And he's like, no, I'm gonna become an evil dictator and take over the galaxy to save your life. And she's like, ah!
Do you remember that scene in Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, where Anakin has the just heartbreaking mind, I'm gonna become an evil dictator, and Padme's just like, ah!
So, Meanwhile, yeah, no, and then Anakin's he's strolling around the Jedi Temple and he runs into Yoda. He's like, "Yo, Yoda, Minch, by the way,
I just want to state for the record, there are so many finger guns when Ben does Anakin, specifically Anakin.
So he's walking down the hall. He's like, "Yo, Minch, I gotta talk to you, boyo." And Minch is like, "Step into my office." So they're going to chill out in the meditation office, and
It's like a broom closet.
Anakin's like, someone I care about very much is about to not be alive anymore. And Minch is like, "Oh, that's good for them."
My friend has a wife, and she might be...
My buddy,
Trento Ruaba.
It's like
Anakin's
Anakin's Anakin's talking to Yoda like a guy trying to like get Viagra from his doctor. Like, yeah, a buddy of mine was saying he was having these issues.
problem.
Yeah.
Like, so this person I know who may or may not be my pregnant wife, might die, kind of like how my mom did. And Yoda's like, "Oh, that's good for them." And that's all I'm gonna tell you.
Oh my God.
Just don't be
Good for them,
sad.
that is.
Yoda's advice is just don't be sad.
That's a drag, that is. You know, like,
Sucks that does.
Yoda looks at Anakin and says, "Stop being sad," as if that would help any situation ever.
Just the deleted scene of Yoda telling Anakin to pull himself up by his bootstraps.
Yep.
So then, Anakin rolls up to the meeting that he missed, and Obi-Wan's like, "You missed the meeting," and Anakin's like, "I know." And then Obi-Wan's like, "The Outer Rim is doing fine." And then he's like, "I'm gonna go talk to my not dad, who's actually my dad." So Anakin jogs on over to the opera house where George Lucas is.
The way you're describing Anakin in this movie, it's like he's an RPG character that you have to actually make an effort to make them walk, and he's just full tilt fucking running from point A to point B, just back and forth, and fucking he's just running through halls in the Jedi Temple and through courtyards and fucking down more hallways, and eventually he runs past
NPCs.
Yeah,
You're in a
eventually he runs past a Tesla and an AT.
Next week it's gonna be Chris will be missing this week. We have no idea where he went.
Yeah, no idea.
It has nothing to do with the
they
fact that
fucking-
Jay had to edit that image yet again.
A decade from now, they find my body in landfill with like a bunch of fucking boxes of those Darth Vader shower heads, like the ET game for the Atari.
No, I love you.
Oh, that reminds me. I have to take that shower head down.
Take it down.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's
Moving,
why.
that's right.
That's the only reason why.
Can you imagine? Oh God, no! Now I have to buy the shower head. I have to buy the shower head. I have to install the shower head, and then when I move out of this fucking apartment, I have to leave the shower head so that the
Part of
next
me
tenant
wanted to
walk
leave
in
the
day
shower
one,
head
and they walk into the bathroom, and they look up, and the guy's like, "Is that fucking Darth Vader?"
I give you my permission.
There is a part of me that really wants to leave that shower head on, but I know that'll turn into a shitstorm. So
No, Chris, do it.
Anakin jogs on over past George Lucas into the opera house where everyone's watching Bubbles, and he strolls up. He's like, "Yo, Palps, my boy, what's up?" And Palpatine's like, "Everyone get the fuck out of here." So Palpatine's like, "Hey, by the way, I ever tell you how I killed my master? And he tells him, he's like, have you ever heard the tragedy of this meme? I thought not.
Have you ever heard the oversaturation of this particular meme?
So then Anakin's like, so I can make sure my wife doesn't die. And Palpatine's like, I don't know, probably. By the way, you're gonna be my Jedi Council bitch. And Anakin's like, okay. I feel like that happened somewhere else, but my brain was so fried watching
I
today.
feel like the way you just described Palpatine selling the dark side of the Force to Anakin, which thematically appropriate. It feels like he's one of these fucking shitbag like political talking heads that sells like vitamins and supplements. That's like, now listen, I'm not telling you it's gonna give you superpowers, but I can tell you you'll be super fucking strong. It's like Palpatine, like, well, I mean, I'm not saying you can bring your wife back to life, but you know, you could probably save her.
No, I totally in that context, I totally see Palpatine as one of those like those shitty dudes who are like they talk about the quote unquote seduction game
Yeah.
and like
It's one of,
how women actually want you to be, and he's just like one of those shitbags.
it's one
That
of those
sounds like
guys it's one of those guys you went to high school with that got wrapped up in a pyramid scheme, and he's 10 years in and he has no idea it's a pyramid scheme still somehow.
And even if he did, he's so far in he can't get out now.
Like this, like, man, you've been trying to sell these vacuums for fucking it's been like a decade, man.
So then Anakin's like, yippee, and he
Does Hayden Christensen have a cameo, and can I get him to yell yippee on camera?
he's Anakin's like, by the way, the not emperor,
No, not emperor is a good description.
no, it is,
because
but I
it's
can't
so
think of
sarcastic.
chancellor.
Mm-hmm.
Wants me to be the Chancellor Jedi Council man, and everyone's like, that's a terrible idea, but we'll let it happen. But you got some work to do yet, buddy. And he's like, no.
Like a kid fresh out of law school who was just made partner of his dad's firm, and it's like, well, buddy, we'll do this for you, but you're gonna have to do some work. And he's like, work?
That was an
What do you
extremely
mean?
specific
Perfect.
example.
That's perfect.
What do you mean I'm gonna have to work? That's unfair.
And everyone's like, so the war is happening, and they're all like, yes, indeed, we should do some battles in this war. And everyone's like, indeed.
George Lucas's internal thought process as he's writing the script. It's been a while since the last Star War in this Star Wars.
Yoda's like, I must go to Kashyyyk. We need a set piece.
Why is Yoda Palpatine?
No, I can't do Yoda. I decided to palp it up and hope no one noticed.
Wait, I'm imagining an alternate timeline where Palpatine sounds like Yoda and Yoda sounds
No.
like Palpatine.
We're not ruining.
No,
We're not there
no,
yet.
it's a better movie. No, it's a better movie.
No. We aren't that far.
I will.
God.
Vader Lord. Like, that doesn't have the same kick to it.
So, and then everyone's like, so, the plot told us General Grievous is on Utapau.
My lord, I've received word from General MacGuffin.
I've received word from a Georg Lucas of the location of General Grievous.
Georg Lucas.
Then everyone's like, let's send someone to do that. And then Anakin's like, yep, that's me. And everyone collectively says, fuck you. We're sending Obi-Wan. And Obi-Wan's like, tubular. So Obi-Wan
Can we
gets
get a
in his...
cameo of Ewan McGregor saying tubular?
Eventually, when we make a Patreon for this show, that's what
God.
our hard-earned money will be going towards, is buying celebrity cameos from the former Star Wars cast to use as bits in the YouTube copy of this show. Rest assured,
YouTube
you
copy.
will not be
If you
put
think
away.
I'll be that limited,
Yeah, it'll be on Twitter. It'll be, I don't.
I can
God.
find a way to put them on every podcast. No, we wouldn't do that.
Wouldn't.
I might do that anyway. How much is Ewan McGregor?
I'm on board with Chris. Chris and I are gonna start a savings fund.
Hey, listen.
Ewan, I need you to say tubular, and then also
Now,
Chris is the best on Star Wars Every Week Forever. Just don't Google what that is, please. But just he's just reading this verbatim on the cameo, and I'm like, that's not what I wanted, but I mean,
that's good.
With the extra mile, I guess.
Listen, we have one dedicated desktop computer to the show now. I am no longer sitting in a metal kitchen chair that is giving me hemorrhoids. I now have a regular chair. We basically are paid for. So what's stopping us?
It's all up from here.
It's all up from here. We don't have the imminent threat of my body giving out or a computer dying, so why not? So we're an hour and 2 minutes into the movie.
So Obi-Wan jumps in his space boat and heads on over to Utapau, and Yoda hops on his space boat and heads on over to the Chewbacca planet.
The Chewbacca. Okay, hold on. No, everybody.
Nope,
stop.
No,
stop,
I have a rant.
No,
so
you don't get to No. You once screamed at us about not remembering the name of Tarful, and you want to call Kashyyyk the Chewbacca planet?
Justice for all of the forgotten Wookiees of the expanded universe. Yes. The Wookiees have been done dirty by Disney.
Lobaka, Tavoka.
Fucking Lobaka. Fucking Lobaka. Fucking Tenelka. Fuck you. Fuck Palpatine. Every once in a while it comes in small bursts.
It just hits you.
It's like 2/3 of us have been drinking tonight or something.
Fine. It's fine. The EU's compartmentalized again. I'm dead inside. It's fine. Ben, we were an hour into.
So Yoda. So okay, I was playing a board game, Star Wars Rebellion, and I for the longest time thought Kashyyyk was spelled with 2 Y's. It's spelled with 3 Y's.
I think you're right, but let's do a double check here.
I checked it.
I mean,
yeah.
Listen, it's fantasy. It's like fucking.
No, I know. I just want to know at what point my brain didn't. How I didn't figure this out until like last week.
Because it's nonsense speak.
Well, yeah, it's like, oh man, I can't believe I forgot to put the fucking little dash in Dritz and it's fucking fantasy bullshit speak.
It made me very mad because my friend Redacted looked at me and he goes,
"Friend of the
I
show,
think they
Redacted.
spelled it
Friend
wrong."
of the show,
I was
Redacted.
like, "What do you mean they spelled it wrong?" He's like, "There's 3 Y's," and I was like, "Oh shit, they did spell it wrong." And then I googled it. I was like, "What the fuck?"
I mean, have we gotten to this point with this podcast where it's like, man, I can't believe that instead of 2 Y's in the bullshit made up word, I forgot that it was 3 Y's. Actually, I can't believe I forgot that it was 3 Y's instead of 2.
I was so mad. So Yoda rolls up Kashyyyk to Kashyyyk,
Mm-hmm.
and
Kashyyyk.
and Obi-Wan's on Utapau, and Obi-Wan shows up. He's like, "Yo, where's those separatists?" And
Have I expressed my love for Utapau yet?
It's a pretty neat.
Not the
planet.
planet, the
It's-
word. I'm a big fan of Utapau. Anytime we get to say Utapau, or I get to hear anyone say Utapau, it just makes me happy. It's one of those words that's here, and I'm like, yeah, that's a good one.
So you're gonna-
Utapau does not have 3 Y's.
You done
I-
yet, Chris?
I don't
you
know
done
if
yet,
you knew
Chris?
So we were an hour and 4 minutes into this movie.
And I don't know if you knew this. It doesn't have 3 Y's, Utapau.
So we're chilling on Utapau.
It does
and-
have 3 U's though.
and I'm gonna fucking kill one of you.
Statistically, less Y's than Kashyyyk.
Hour and 4 minutes.
So Obi-Wan rolls up to fucking Utapau, and he talks to Captain Utapau himself, and he's like, "Yo, where's that cyborg bitch?" And he's like, "I don't know, maybe the 10th level, but I can't tell you that. Send help."
It's that fucking Moon Knight edit. It's Obi-Wan landing on Utapau, like, General Grievous, you big bitch, where's my money?
That's gonna be another fun one.
And so Obi-Wan's like, "All right, I'll be right back," and he fucking flies away, and then comes back with a fucking super space boat. And they do a war in the stars,
They do a whole war.
and Obi-Wan's like, "Haha, I found General Robot Man," and
I'm
Grievous
sorry, it's
is
Robotman?
like, she's not wrong. So Obi-Wan's like, "I found General Robotman." Obi-Wan's like, "Howdy there," and General Grievous is like, "Ah, you," and they proceed to spin a lot, so much spinning. Grievous is like, "Count Dooku taught me this one," and he just flails.
I just like to think of very suave, very put together Sir Christopher Lee holding lightsabers, standing across from General Grievous, like, all right, General. Now this isn't a trick the Jedi would teach you. Sir Christopher Lee, he just starts fucking swinging his arms, helicoptering.
I'm telling you, Dooku was so sick of training people that by the time he got to Grievous, he was like, "How can I train this person to be the most easily defeated Padawan I can ever create?"
Wait. I
Oh,
cracked
no.
the code. So he was inspired to teach General Grievous how to fight like that from in episode 2 when Anakin gets the second lightsaber and he just twirls them in circles the whole fight.
Ah, yes, that was pretty terrible.
I'll teach him that.
This is the worst thing I've ever seen a Jedi do. Here, Grievous, do this. So you're just going to spin.
So
If the war effort has gotten dire enough where you're fighting a Jedi, then truly I'm probably long dead. I don't
probably
really fucking
decapitated
care.
on some
I don't
spaceship.
care. I don't care what happens. Fucking God.
So Obi-Wan proceeds to like cut off half of General Grievous's limbs.
All.
Just the
Oh,
two
not
of them.
feet. No, 4.
I thought he still had the 2 legs. I might be wrong. But
Yeah, he cuts off all 4.
saying Grievous is like,
Holy shit.
time to run like a little bitch, just like I always do. And then he fucking spider crawls to his like unicycle, and he just fucking takes off.
Keeping in
And-
mind, Grievous is still voiced by John Mulaney at this point.
Ja. Fucking spider climbing, like in the fucking TikTok TikTok that John Mulaney did when it was like, it's me, John Mulaney. Just like that entire thing, every time he's moving, it's just that over and over again.
God. So Obi-Wan's like, ha, you might have a unicycle, but I got a pet lizard. And Obi-Wan starts riding his pet lizard after Grievous's unicycle.
Why is, ever since we established that Grievous was John Mulaney, every line around Grievous is a John Mulaney line?
It's getting sillier and sillier.
So, in this battle of the ages, Obi-Wan's like, haha, I don't have a lightsaber anymore, and he just drops it off a cliff. And while he's chasing after Grievous is like, haha, my space boat. And Obi-Wan's like, not so fast. And he proceeds to get the shit kicked out of him and get tossed over a ledge where he can snipe the shit out of his organs, Grievous's organs. And then he puts down the blaster and he climbs up and he picks up the blaster and he throws it at the ground.
So in your version of events, Obi-Wan has not only yeeted his lightsaber off of a ledge because he didn't need it anymore by your description of events with him going, haha, and throwing it. And
The amount.
and then manifesting a blaster from somewhere, shooting Grievous, and then going, haha, and then throwing that over the ledge as well.
I like that, I do love the reoccurring lines in Star Wars, I got a bad feeling about this. Haha! They're both just incredibly iconic. I'm glad they're in all the movies
Fuck.
except The Last Jedi. Fuck.
Fuck's up
Fuck
there,
is a
too.
reoccurring line, you're right.
So, Obi-Wan's like, okay, time to go talk to Commander Cody. And Cody's like, sir, did you drop this? And Obi-Wan's like, yes. And then he takes his lightsaber and he goes to start doing more Obi-Wan shit. And then, meanwhile, at the Jedi Temple, Anakin's like, hey, Mace Windu, my bestest friend, my mi amigo, my old buddy, old pal. I think my senator dad might be a bad guy. And Mace Windu's like,
I didn't like Senator Dad.
Mace Windu's
We
like,
have a show called Papa Palps.
Oh, Senator Dad just
Is worse
chilled me
than
to the
Papa
bone for a moment. I don't know why. I don't know. Senator Dad just feels creepier. I don't know why. It also sounds
You
like
know
the
what?
title of a show on Fox this spring. You know?
Senator Dad.
Coming to Fox this spring. Senator Dad.
Mace Windu's like, don't worry, we got this, son. Just stay here. And so Anakin stays there for like 2 whole seconds while Mace Windu goes to try and defeat a fully fledged Sith Lord. And with 4 other 3.
Mace Windu is so up his own ass. It never even
Yeah.
occurred to him. He was like, all right, I'm going to go get him. And the other Jedi were like, we'll come with you. And he went, why?
He was proved right, apparently. Kit Fisto lasts like 2 seconds longer than the others that lasted
I mean,
1 second.
If you look at the comparative midichlorian counts of those in the room, I mean...
No,
Fisto
we're not
doesn't do
doing
it
that.
as
We are
well.
running so late. We're not doing that today. Ben, no. Like
The look on Ben's
So-
face. He looks so sad.
we're
Oh,
like
you
an
hate-
hour.
you
We're
hate
over an hour
disappointed
already.
So everyone runs into the office, and Palpatine's like, haha, you can't hurt me because I'm the Congress, and then pulls out his lightsaber and murders several Jedi Masters. And him and Mace Windu are fighting like fighty people, and Anakin rolls up and he's like, Mace Windu, don't. And Mace Windu's like, I'm gonna do it. And Anakin's like, don't do it. And Mace Windu's like, I'm gonna do it. And then Anakin cuts off Mace Windu's hand, and then unlimited power is had by Palpatine.
What's this? What? I'm trying to understand the pantomime I'm watching right now. I don't know what I'm looking at.
So then Palpatine's like, haha, I can now murder you, and he proceeds to chuck Mace Windu out a window, and then apparently like 50% of the Star Wars fan base was like, he's definitely still alive. And then
another moment of people listening to our podcast like, whatever happened to Mace Windu? The podcast said he was alive.
And then Palpatine's like, hey, good job, my boy. I'm gonna call you Darth Vader. Anakin's like, cool. So then
Palpatine he's like, Neil, okay, well you're gonna be a Sith, and you're by yourself, so I mean I guess Darth Solo.
I am Darth Solo. Really? That sounds like the kind of name that like a really lazy, like wasn't thinking ahead Sith Master would give you.
Side note, we don't talk about Solo ever, so I've never gotten to say my prevailing theory is that fucking guy does that to every fucking person that he can.
There's a bunch of Solos running around.
There's so many Solos.
Han Vader and Darth Solo.
Oh, I didn't like that.
It is what it is. That's what you've done.
So, Palpatine's like, all right, so, old chap, could you do me a solid and go invade the Jedi Temple? Anakin's like, no problem, I got you. Like, if there's 8 kids there, just, you know, be a decent human being. And Anakin's like, all right, I got it. So Anakin rolls up to the temple and slaughters children.
Am I misremembering? Did Robot Chicken or someone do like a skit where it's like the aftermath? Palpatine's like, I didn't tell you to kill them. Like, they're kids. I thought you would have. Like, we could have made them like soldiers. What do you mean you killed them? Like, I feel like I'm remembering. Like that was Robot Chicken. I feel like someone has done that. Yeah.
So then Palpatine's like, hey, every clone everywhere ever, just kill the Jedi. And they're all like, that's a good idea. So they all do it, and it works. Except for the 2 schmucks who were stuck with Yoda, and Commander Cody, because he's inept. And so Obi-Wan's like, I'm gonna just hijack Robotman's space boat and go back to Yoda. And Yoda's like, hey, Chewie, you're here. I need a spaceship. And they're like, here's a metal cone. And Yoda flies away into the sunset.
Yes, we've brought you our finest cone. Master Yoda.
You realize why it looks like that, right? You realize why they did that.
Why?
It was meant to be an ET reference.
Oh yeah, that tracks. So they're like, don't worry, we have the old ET ship.
Do you have any ships that I can use, Chewbacca? Yeah, we got something kicking around in the shed.
One we
Uncle Larry
absolutely
was
could not
around
fit
with.
into.
Yeah. Uncle Larry picked it up at the
Uncle
junkyard. He's been
Larry.
rebuilding it for a decade now. Aunt Linda's really pissed off that it's still in the garage.
In about 20 years from now, he's gonna get thrown off. He's gonna get framed for the murder of a stormtrooper that got thrown off the side of one of our houses by some guy named Solo.
And they're like, all right, let's just it's fine. It's okay. We're just gonna go to the Jedi Temple. It's all gonna be cool. There's gonna be a baby involved. so they roll up to the Jedi Temple, and the baby says, "Fuck you."
God damn it.
They proceed to slaughter the fuck out of every single clone trooper there. And they're like, we gotta turn off the message that tells the Jedi, hey, there totally wasn't a Jedi purge here. You should just show up at the temple. And Bail Organa rolls up and he's like, hey guys, you need to not be here or something. And they're all like, well, we gotta now murder these two fucks. So Yoda's like, I'll murder Palpatine, and Obi-Wan's like, no, and Yoda's like, listen here, you little bitch. And Obi-Wan's like, okay. So Obi-Wan goes to murder Anakin, who's now on Mustafar, by the way. Because he had to murder the Separatist men.
You're close enough.
And
You've been close enough for the last 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So Obi-Wan's like,
You're good.
Obi-Wan's like, I don't know where Anakin went. He goes to Padme. He's like, yo, did Anakin say anything about murdering children or going to murder other people? And Padme's like, no. So he's like, okay, got it. And then he just stows away on her fucking space boat. And
Awkward. How awkward would it have been if, like, that ship lands and it's just, like, she's back on Naboo and, like, he gets out and there's just about 10 senators out there that he has to go meet and it's like, well, I probably shouldn't be here.
Hello, everyone. He tries to do the dramatic thing he does in the actual movie where he's standing at the top of the ramp and then he just looks around and he's like,
We don't talk enough about how Obi-Wan fucking stands. Like, we really don't talk enough about how fucking Obi-Wan stands. Like, he really is. This motherfucker, Anakin, like, looks over and this motherfucker is
It's
full
like
on,
superhero posing.
yeah, like this. He's playing it up. Like, that's not a normal. I have never once in my day-to-day life gone, I need to make an entrance. And then, like,
God help us the day the SWEWF crew finally meets up, because we're either gonna roll up at Chris's or Chris is gonna roll up where we are, and I'm just gonna be standing there.
Yep, that's the plan now. That's absolutely the plan now.
I roll up, and Ben is just at the top of a driveway, just like, hello.
Hands on hip. Hands not even on hips, on midsection.
So Obi-Wan's like, yeah, he stows away, and Padme's like, I gotta go to Anakin right now because of plot convenience. So she rolls up to Mustafar, because, yeah, and Obi-Wan's like, the fuck you doing here? And she's like, Obi-Wan said some stuff that wasn't nice. So Padme, what's he doing here? And Padme's like, what? And she's like, fuck. And Anakin's like, no. And then Padme takes a nap while the best duel in all of Star Wars ever takes place. Meanwhile, Minch is just, chilling out, rolling up in Palpatine's fucking office, and Palpatine's like, I don't like you. And Yoda's like, get fucked, nerd. And then Palpatine tries to run out of the office, but Yoda's like, no. And then they start lightsaber fighting.
Do you remember that time Yoda looked at Palpatine and said, "Get fucked, nerd"?
So Palpatine then proceeds to throw the Senate at Yoda. And Yoda's like,
throw the Senate.
and then Yoda decides to just get the fuck out of there. He's like, nope, too much for me. I need a nap. So then Yoda fucking, he's like, he gets on his little cell phone. He's like, hey, Bale, could you bail me out of this, please?
I hate you so much.
So Bale rose
Oh my god, his name's Bail Organa, and he bails him out.
Yoda's like,
George.
sweet. So Yoda hops on the speeder and they ride off into the Coruscant sunset. Meanwhile, Obi-Wan chops off 3/4 of his apprentice. And he's like, you're a little fucker, you know that? And Anakin's like, fuck you. And then Anakin caught on fire, and Obi-Wan just left him there. And he flew off into the Mustafar sunset.
I mean, Obi-Wan fucking sucks. I mean,
You're right, but
It's your time, Obi-Wan.
what? Like, it's like any story. It's like if Frodo just kind of threw the ring into like a field, you know, and it just went like, that someone else will deal with the rest of this, I guess.
it's like if Frodo rolled up to Mount Doom and just like set it on the walkway there.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
that's close
Instead
enough.
of throwing it in, yeah, exactly. Just right on the edge instead of
My
into it.
feet
Yeah.
hurt.
Yeah, this will take care of itself.
My
Someone
feet
else
hurt.
will.
Close enough.
Someone else will deal with this. Ultimately, this isn't a victory. I'm just gonna go back to the Shire and, you know.
So Obi-Wan goes back to Padme's space boat, and he's like, he picks up Padme, and he's like, come on, R2. And R2's like, where the fuck did my best friend go? But because Obi-Wan's the omniscient God King, R2 falls in line.
God King.
And they all meet up on the little mining planet, and Padme's like, oh boy, time to do me a birth.
Shortly followed by, oh boy, time to do me a death.
and then as Obi-Wan is leaving Mustafar, he passes by Palpatine entering Mustafar, and they wave at each other as they pass by.
It's that Umbrella Academy meme where it's just.
So Palpatine's like, well, you done fucked up, kiddo. He just picks him up and walks him over to the space boat, and they fly back to Coruscant. And Padme's just they thought there was only one little potato in there, but surprise, surprise, there's two of them. And she's like, I want that one to be Luke, and I hope he gets stuck on a desert fucking planet with a bunch of backwards moisture farmers. And that one's gonna be a princess who lives on Alderaan named Leia. And everyone's like, cool. And she's like, alright, bye. And then she just fucking dies.
Yeah, and they're like, what the fuck do we do with these kids? And Obi-Wan's like, he's got like a step fucking uncle or something. Just, you know, that guy that bought Vader's mom, but then married her. We'll just send him over to those people.
And Anakin's like, oh boy, more robot limbs. And Palpatine's like, when you put the suit on, make sure it beeps randomly. And make him breathe loud as fuck. That way he can't sneak up on me.
I want him to not even be able to think over the sound of his own breathing.
Make sure his legs are detachable.
No,
Can
no,
you make
no,
his
better
face-
yet, I can do that with the Force.
Can you make his face a shower head? Is that a feature?
Is that
you
a
could put in
feature?
there?
And that's Revenge of the Sith.
And they all lived happily ever after. The end.
Not to rush you, Ben, but we've been here a long time. Weird Wikipedia, baby.
Yeah.
Weird
I am-
Wikipedia, baby.
I am falling apart as
Yeah,
much as a lot of the Star Wars saga as a whole. I'm into middle of Rise of Skywalker levels of deterioration at the
Yeah.
Oh
moment.
my god.
This was an episode
Oh,
that we did.
I've
boy.
aged 30 years tonight.
And it's not because of the length, it's because the length went so long because we couldn't stop riffing.
We're talking about Valbec Prime.
Oh, good old Valbec.
Velvet Prime.
Good old Valbec. It's my favorite of the.
Which it's canon,
Val.
but it reeks of EU name. It was a location in the galaxy. Oh, during the Clone Wars. This is actually the Clone Force 99 was here. They were sent to put down an insurrection there. That sounds right.
Did you say Valbec? It's
Why?
Yalbec.
Yalbec.
I thought it was-
Yalbec. I can read.
Ben-
I know what letters
Now
are.
Ben, I know it might be confusing to you because there was only one Y there.
Chris, you're a real son of a bitch. You know that.
This is a very recent article, by the way.
Yeah. Crime boss during the Imperial era. Crime boss Sork Tormo.
Awesome.
I mean, I love
Of the Haxion Brood.
so much. The first sentence of this article literally is Yalbec Prime was a location in the galaxy. It's like that,
Gotta
going
love-
back to John Mulaney. It's like that John Mulaney Ice-T bit where it's like, yeah, man, you got it.
It's almost like
was a
this
location.
article was. It was almost like this article was a stub until a couple of weeks ago, and then when they had to expand on it, they were like, "Oh, I'll just keep typing after that comment."
This is a weirdly timely weird Wikipedia.
Yeah.
Well, this is from Clone Wars season 7, I believe.
No, it's from the Bad Batch.
Says it was
Yelbec
first
Prime was
mentioned in
first
the Bad
mentioned
Batch.
in the Bad Batch, an episode of the
Hold
Star
on.
Wars,
Oh, okay.
television series. The episode was written in the premiere of the show's 7th season.
Oh, okay. I was wrong.
And then it was in Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, apparently.
It
It
was
was
mentioned.
mentioned.
Which is where that Sork Tormo of the Haxion Brood used the phrase uglier than a mating season on Yalbec Prime.
Awesome. You gotta love that Star Wars jargon.
This has been an illuminating episode of Star Wars Every Week Forever.
Oh,
I've learned so much. My mind has been expanded into 1,000 different possibilities.
Are you now
I'm
like
looking
our
at
God
this
King
movie
Obi-Wan?
I'm looking at this movie in so many different ways because of Ben's summary. I feel like I've achieved omniscience equal only to that of Obi-Wan Kenobi. It's fine. I see everything.
Much like Obi-Wan Kenobi.
It's like Obi-Wan Kenobi in Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith official novelization.
No, it's definitely in the movie. It's definitely in the movie.
It's also in the movie, but they don't talk about it. It was Ewan McGregor was like, George, what's my inspiration for this scene?
What's
And
my
George was
motivation?
like, Ewan, come here. And it's like,
Come here.
listen, you're omniscient. You feel everything. You see Ewan, you ever done DMT?
It's been Star Wars every week forever. Good night.
What are we doing? What do
Me
what
too.
do we do here?
If you enjoyed that episode, why not like and subscribe? Also, share it with a couple friends. Bring them into this hellscape that we've done to ourselves. You can catch brand new episodes every single Wednesday on Spotify, Pandora, YouTube, pretty much every other platform you get your podcasts on. If you'd like to extend the suffering, you can catch us over on twitter.com at SWEWF. We post direct links to brand new episodes every week as soon as we upload them, and you can catch the occasional other dumb Star Wars take, and who wouldn't want that? Catch you guys later.